1995 Toyota Celica GT4. Sold new in Japan in 95. This one was imported to the UK and is now fully UK registered this year. On that plate, M879PAG. Very, very standard looking car, this one. Not been messed with. We've sold quite a few of these sort of special Celicas over the years. We actually have the auction record for the 185 shape, so the earlier shape. This, I would say, of a 205 is easily the best one I've ever seen. Really, really nice example. Very, very fresh, very, very honest. You'll notice as we whip around there, it's all one colour silver, but we're going to go around panel by panel, have a proper look at the bodywork. You have to ignore the sunlight we've got on that, but we'll be able to see past that as we go. And then we'll go for a check out on the interior. I'll pop the camera underneath here and where, and then we'll go for a cold engine start. It was driven to us, this one as well, 30-40 miles away. Started on the button when it was hot to pull in here. We've let it go cold after photographing it a few hours ago, and now we're going to go for a proper cold engine startup. Starting with the bodywork, if we start on this driver's side, and if you look down the side, you can see it's lovely and straight all the way down there. It's not full of ripples or dents or filler. All the panel gaps on each side are lovely and even all the way down there. Driver's front wing, normally you've got stone chips appearing down this section here, but as you can see, this one is immaculate. There's no sign of any marks at all on that driver's front wing. Really very, very good. If we look inside the arch there, you can see super clean in there, really very, very good. And the arch itself is perfect all the way around. There's not a mark, not a scratch, no sign of any corrosion at all. It's on matching Pirelli P7s. Good spec tyre for the car, matching all the way around. Loads of tread left in those. Wheels themselves are nice and neat. Discs and calipers look good. Coming down this side, top of the wing, that's all good. There's no sign of any marks there. There's no delamination at the bottom of the windscreen or at the top in the usual spots. All the plastics, again, lovely and clean and tidy. They're not caked in back to black. They're not dried out. We've missed a little bit of dirt there, ignore that. But like I said, the plastics there are lovely. Wiper arms are good. A-pillar, there's no signs of any stone chips or anything up there. And then up onto the roof, lovely and straight all the way across. If we're being really, really picky, there is a very light, you probably can't even see it, you can't even see it on the camera, there's a very light bird poo mark, but that's how picky I am being with this car. No signs of any stone chips at all across that region of the windscreen. And then down the gutter, all good as well. Lovely and clear on the glass. Normally on frameless windows you can find that can get quite scratched, but these ones are all nice. Lovely and tidy around the wing mirror and on the wing mirror cap. Driver's door, I appreciate there's some sunlight on that, ignore that. But the driver's door, smooth and neat all the way down. No signs of any marks there at all. It's not been opened on anything. There's no marker on the handles. If we go lower down, you can see that sill is good all the way along. You want to look at this section here where the seam is. See, that's all nice and clean in there. And then if you look at the actual lip underneath it, look how good that is. Really very, very good. And then you can see underneath, it's not caked in under seal to hide anything. Not a patchwork quilt of dodgy welding or anything like that. Very, very nice and tidy under there. Very happy with that. Coming down this side again, you want to look at this section here. Normally you can get some moisture and some dirt trapped in under there. But as you can see, this one is excellent. The arch is sharp all the way around. And then again, where these mud flaps are screwed in, quite often you get some bubbling on the underside, but you can get your hand right behind on this one. And on both points, it's lovely and tidy. Another good wheel and Pirelli tyre. No marks to note on that rear quarter. And again, if you look back up from this side, that's all very good. Coming around onto the rear, we're going to have a look at that section there. Quite often if it's had bad paint jobs or anything like that can be filled with paint, but this one, as you can see, is lovely and neat. Tail lights on both sides, bright, clear and crack free. All the badges are flawless. Normally they are, the silver sort of faded from sponges and things, but this one are very, very good. Even the Toyota badge is good. Boot lid itself, nice and neat, round where the spoiler mounts. Again, that's all good. Bottom of the windscreen's good. This seal, quite often on Japanese cars, the things you want to look at are things like the rubbers where they dry out. This one, lovely and neat all the way around. And the spoiler itself, very, very good. Normally they can be used to lift the boot up and down, but no sign of that on this one. And then the rear bumper, so it's nice and level. No marks on either corner, all very good. If we have a look underneath, you can see really very neat under there. Nothing to whinge about there. And then coming around on the passenger side, if you look down that side, look how straight that is. Lovely and level all the way down, not full of ripples, not full of filler, not full of dents. You see that body line where it kicks out nice and crisp. Seam on this side again, lovely and neat. And then the lower half here normally is caked in stone chips along there. It's effectively a sort of homologation for a rally car, isn't it? But that one, really very, very good down there. Rear quarter around the filling cap, all nice and neat. And again, this arch, you can get your hands behind onto that screw. That's very good. Lovely and sharp all the way around. If you look at how clean that is in there. Really good. Another matching Pirelli P7. Really nice and neat on the quarter. And again, it kicks out here. So normally you'd find stone chips, but this one, as you can see, is neat all the way along. And then, apart from a little bit of polish, missed there, ignore that. Nice and tidy on that seam. Put the camera underneath from here again. That lip all the way along. Sharp, crisp. Happy with that, definitely. And then underneath, doesn't look like there's a single patch in that floor to me. Looks really very good. You can see for yourself there. Again, normally the Japanese ones, they come in, they get caked in under seal, and you never know what you're buying. But that one, super honest, super up, and there you go. Glass on this side, all nice and neat. Can have another look at the roof from here again. That's all good. The gutters are nice and tidy. A-pillar, no sign of any marks. In fact, actually, there's a very, very, look at that. That's the smallest scratch I think I've ever had to point out on a video. That's how picky we've been. All good on that wing mirror. Nothing at all to whinge about on the door. Nice and tidy around the handles. Again, these seals are lovely as well. Lower half down here, again, nice and tidy. Get your hand in on the arch. It's tidy all the way around. No signs of any marks there at all. And again, final matching Pirelli P7. This side of the screen, there's no delamination down the bottom or at the top. Again, the plastics on this side are good. Windscreen's nice and clear. Bonnet, again, you've got lots of stuff going on in the bonnet. You've got a larger bulge, two smaller ones, vents. Perfect sort of place to trip up a bad painter if it's had paint work. But there's no telltale signs of any issues. Go around any of the usual spots on that bonnet. And again, normally you'd have dodgy metallic lines and things like that. But look at how crisp that is. You can see off the front of the headlight bulge, the intake bulge at the back, the big bulge at the front. Really very good. Round at the front itself, all four headlamps and the fog lamps and the indicators, crack free, clear, lovely and neat and tidy all the way across. Stone chip wise, nothing at all to whinge about there. Did a terrible job of cleaning the car, I know that much. There's one, in fact that's a squash fly from driving over, ignore that. Really, really good on the front there. So cosmetically and underneath, as good as you're going to find, definitely the best I've seen. Moving on to the interior, and again, nice and standard in here. Leave that, we'll turn that off so we can turn the stereo off. There you go, we left that on. Lovely and clean on the door card. Again, normally you see a load of wear down here and some across the top, but both bits of those nice and neat. There's no sign of any sort of wearing thin on the handles or the buttons. Door shut itself is all good. You've got some Japanese inspection stickers there. Doors themselves, the bottoms of the doors, lovely and tidy as well. We've got Celica mats in there, but if we lift those up, you can see the carpet underneath. I appreciate that's dark. It's really, really good. Those mats have obviously been down for a long time. Standard interior, tiniest little bit of wear on the bolster there. A good upholsterer will fix that for you. They put a bit of glue and a bit of fibre on it. Actually, they don't even need to stitch them anymore. In fact, if I do that, you can't even tell it's there. There you go. Really, very, very good. It might look a little bit dirty on the camera, but if we get nice and close, you can see immaculate all the way down. Tiny bit of wear on the outside of the steering wheel there for being really picky. Guessing someone's caught that with a ring on or something. Rest of it is all good. 99,602 kilometers. So not miles, kilometers, obviously Japanese import. 62-ish thousand miles. We'll put the exact conversion in the description. Really nice across the top of the dash there. We do have what looks to be a mount for something there, but it is just stuck on, so it should just peel off. And the same with, there's a phone mount there, which is in the vent, so again, you can just remove that if you need to. Standard original stereo, Toyota stereo in there. All good down that center console. We have some extra gauges here, which again, are just clip mounted on. Excuse me. There you go. It's actually a humidity and a temperature gauge, so they're nothing to do with the car. They're just more for the atmosphere around it. Again, dead easy to remove if you want rid of those. We'll pop the bonnet and the boot while we're here. Quick look in the back. Again, the backs of the seats all nice and neat. They've not been kicked or abused. Rear bench, doesn't look like it's been sat in hardly at all. And lovely and neat on that headlining. Getting a good telltale sign is where that roof ridge is. There's no sagging or anything there. Round into the boot. And again, for a big spoiler, those rams are good. Normally they can be quite soft, they can drop down. Parcel shelf is lovely, there's no speakers drilled into that. Standard strut brace on the GT4 with the zip-off cover there. Carpet set is lovely and dark all the way around. All the plastics are neat. Normally these get really scratched up and horrible from sort of things rattling around the boot, whereas these ones are very good. If we lift the carpet up, you've got the correct bit of wood there with the Japanese stickers on. Space saver wheel, which doesn't look like it's ever been out of the car. And it's lovely and tidy in there. No sign of any trap moisture, no sign of any corrosion or any damage. There we go. And then front passenger side, very good on the door card. Nothing to complain about on the door shuts or on the bottoms of the doors. And this seat, just as good. The foam on the bolsters on both seats, really very, very good. No signs of any wear on the seams. This side of the dash is nice and neat. You can see this side of the center console. Even around the gear gate, there's a little bit of wear on the gear stick itself, but the gate is good. In all the usual sort of spots, nice and neat and tidy under there. Definitely never been smoked and you can smell from a mile off for that stuff. And then under the bonnet, and this is where you're normally met with a dodgy aftermarket turbo, bump dump valves and all sorts of weirdness. This one, apart from it wants a really good detail, there's a bit of dust. It's obviously had a good detail on the outside, but it does want a good engine detail, just to bring it up to the same standard as the rest of the car. If it was an average car, you'd forgive it all day long. Little bits like it's got some marks on the battery clamps, things like that. The inner wings, as you can see, all nice and neat around. The strut tops are lovely. Firewall's good. Got the right plaques in the right places. Lovely and clean down the front there. It's all lovely and straight and neat. It's been parked here a little while. Not dropping any fluid on the floor. We'll start it up. Going to take the camera straight around the back. Turbo car, we want to make sure there's no... Take it out of gear first. Make sure there's no oil coming out the back. Straight around the back. Not a puff. Started on the first revolution. Ticking over nice and happy. And again, I think that might be the smoothest GT4 we've ever had in here again. We've had one owner UK cars, we've had heavily modified ones, we've had everything in between. Easily say that's the best one we've ever had. So there you have it. Toyota Celica GT4, fabulous condition. Check the description, we'll detail everything we know about the car. It is here every day, so if you want to do viewings or get a good look at the car yourself, you can come and have a look. Or if you can't get to it, give us a shout, we can do extra photos, extra videos, anything you might need. Thank you.